From time to time, you need to fix things around your house or apartment. There are simple jobs that you can do yourself rather than hire a handyman. It saves you time and money. All you need are some essential hand tools. However, it's often a mistaken notion that you only need a couple of screwdrivers, a plier, and a hammer to do the job. More often than not, this makes it worse and will take you longer to finish the task. You always want to have the right tools for the job at hand. Quality hand tools are so affordable these days, there is really no need to scrimp. On the other hand, when you go to a hardware store, there are myriad of tools on display that can confuse you, and you just don't know where to begin. In this video, I'll recommend the minimum hand tools that can address maybe around 80 to 90% of the repair and maintenance jobs. Typically, you may already have the following tools: a pair of scissors, a box cutter or knife, a slotted tip, also called minus tip screwdriver, a Phillips tip, also called plus tip screwdriver, long nose plier for gripping, tightening, loosening, turning wires, a diagonal cutter for cutting wires, stripping insulation from copper wires, and a hammer to hammer nails, to remove nails, pry open wooden boxes or frames. But a word of caution, these are not nearly enough, and if you just make do with only these, you can get into trouble. Let's start with the screwdrivers, which are the most important tools in order for a job to be done well. There are many sizes of screws, and one screwdriver is not one size fits all. You need different sizes of screwdrivers. I recommend at least two sizes of slotted tips that fit the most commonly used screws: a 6.5mm wide tip and a 5mm wide tip. I also recommend at least two sizes of Phillips screwdrivers. The sizes are designated with a PH suffix. You'd want a PH1, which is the smaller tip, and a PH2, which is the larger tip. These two pairs, one pair of slotted tips and another pair of Phillips tips, should cover a large percentage of screws you'll find used in your house. Bear in mind that you should only use the correct screwdriver, or else you'll damage the screw heads. You'll have a hard time removing screws with damaged heads. Next, you should have a tongue and groove plier, which can double as an adjustable wrench shown inset, and slip joint plier, again shown inset. Having two pliers handy gives you flexibility, and you can use them together to gain mechanical leverage to tighten or untighten. And then we have the measuring tape. Make sure you have one with both metric and English. A metal ruler for marking and lining up your measurements on the surface of your workpiece. An often overlooked tool is the scratch awl, or sometimes called an ice pick. It is a good practice that before you drive a screw or drill a hole, you should create a small reference dent using the scratch awl. The small dent mark prevents slipping while you're driving a screw or drilling a hole. Next, a metal file. This is another often overlooked tool. If there are sharp edges, whether wood or metal, you want to file them off to avoid injury. And finally, the hacksaw. You'd need it to remove twigs, cutting a pipe, and many other cutting tasks on wood and metal that obviously a pair of scissors or a knife cannot handle. There you have it, the minimum set of hand tools. You might also consider, instead of buying individual screwdrivers and scratch awl, to buy a screwdriver set like this. It replaces the screwdrivers and the scratch awl. This one has a handle that can take in different tool heads. There are three Phillips sizes, a PH2, a pH 1, and an even smaller pH 0, which is commonly used for electronic devices. And there are 3 slotted head sizes, a 6.5mm, a 5mm, and a smaller 3mm. There is also the scratch awl and a tack puller for prying out tacks, small nails, and box lids. There you go. These are the minimum hand tools you should have to tackle most of your repair work around the house. Now, of course, there are toolkits that you can buy, like this one pictured inset. Just make sure if there are missing pieces compared to the list I gave, to buy those pieces to complete your kit. This is a good start and a basis to build up a more sophisticated toolkit. And when you find out that there are additional tools you need, by all means go out and buy that tool. A quality hand tool now is not expensive. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe. By the way, safety first. Wear eye protection when working, and also keep an earplug handy for noisy jobs.